Hey guys, Jake from Apollo Trading here. An issue that I see a lot with new members joining the server is they are starting with like small accounts and they want to start right away and get into everything, and they will try to make it or break it off of like very risky options plays that I would never recommend getting into, like weekly options that are only $30 or something like that, and then in 3 trades their $100 account is gone forever. And they're that's kind of like one of the biggest reasons that I'm like a big supporter of paper trading and getting into simulation trading before you do the real thing. Now, I understand that like a lot of people don't want to do that and it's boring and it kind of doesn't simulate that real feeling of like the risk and when your money is going up or down and you're feeling that pressure and you're going to make different decisions if you really had skin in the game. So, you don't have to have a huge account to only use small portions of it or risk small portions of it. So let's say you start with $100. This is a good way to begin. You start with a $100 account and then you buy a stock, not an option, but you get like an actual stock. And there's plenty of stocks that you can buy for under $100. You have Coca-Cola, AMC, AT&T, Snapchat, Twitter, GM, Uber, Delta Airlines. There's plenty of options, plenty of real companies that are not going to be risky for you to buy their shares. And now when you're buying these shares, obviously you're not going to blow up and double and triple and quadruple your money really quickly, but that's not the goal here. In the very beginning, you want to focus on getting your consistency down and you want to focus on like avoiding large amounts of risk that can blow up your $100 account. So you're not going to focus on just making a large quantity of money right away. Instead, let's say you buy a share of Snapchat, and right now it's trading at around 76 or so. But let's say you had gotten it at like 68 and you started this a few weeks ago and then you wrote it up to 75 and you sold it. Not that much money, you made $7, but percentage wise that's not bad. You want to focus on the percentage, and now you've made a 7% gain on your $100 account, and you do that again. You go and you find a different company that maybe is only $30 per share or $50 per share, buy it, and then just try to sell it for more. It doesn't matter how much more. I don't care if you're making 50 cents on a $50 share trade, but just focus on consistency, focus on getting your percentages good each time, and then now you're able to, instead of trying to make a whole bunch of money in a really short period of time, focus on your criteria, focus on your charting, focus on like the technicals and all of those things that you would use to find these things. Don't worry about the hype. If there's a lot of people trading GameStop and GameStop flies to $300 and somebody's trading AMC and somebody, like kind of the recent events that happened, but don't fall into the hype, because there's always going to be new hype and there's 1,000 trading opportunities every day that could make you a lot of money. So I've never really felt FOMO from seeing a bunch of people make money on something. I think that's one of the easiest ways to make an easy mistake and lose your account. Instead, just focus on your own skills and your own research for each trade that you're getting into. And just remember that it's definitely better to avoid going for those riskier plays. And yeah, maybe this stock could shoot up, maybe NEO could shoot up like 30% in a day, but what are the chances that it's going to stay up there and keep going? Maybe for a little bit, maybe for 2 or 3 days it will, and you'll hold it and you'll be really happy, but just as easily it can plummet. So a lot of the times I try to avoid those, and it's better to be out and wish that you were in the trade than to be in the trade and wishing that you were out of it. So always keep that in mind. Also, when you're trading with a small account, like a $100 account, make sure that your brokerage is somebody that has free commission trading. Most of the brokerages do nowadays, but there's a few that don't. I don't think that E-Trade has free commissions. I think that most of the other ones do. Charles Schwab does now, TD Ameritrade does now, but that wasn't the case up until very recently. Robinhood, Webull, get something like that, because on a $100 account, commissions will eat up all of your trades super fast. And make sure that when you're doing this, you can learn better each time how to formulate your plan. And having a small trading account like this, and also minimizing risk in this kind of way, where the most you'd probably lose is 3 or 4% on a trade, this allows you to practice that day to day to day and not only be able to survive 2 or 3 losses before your whole account is gone. You would be able to survive $33 losses, you know what I'm saying? So that in that case, you're in a position where you have a lot of room for error if you were to make it, but it's also a relatively easy strategy, and you should be able to learn the basics pretty easily, and hopefully by the end of your first month you can look back and say, okay, cool, I made 22 trades this month and I made money on 16 of them. And if you can get into a position at least that good, then now you already know that it would be very comfortable and very safe for you to throw in another $1,000, and instead of making $6 per day on trades, maybe you make $60 or $80 or $100 per day, and just focusing percentage wise on those trades rather than trying to make $200 or try to make $1,000 in a week or something like that is going to be a lot more realistic, and in the long run you're going to be able to see much better results. So that's all for now. This is something that I think would be very easy for a lot of traders to implement, especially because it's such a small investment amount for you to have to do this with. And try it out, join our group, and just talk with us and see how much you can learn and try to get more consistent gains. But that's all for today.